Nord makes amazing keyboards hands down. With the recent release of the Nord Stage 4, there has been a lot of controversy over its new hefty price tag, and many have asked me if it's worth it or not. Well, here's what I think about it, and at the end of this video, I'm going to share with you if I think you should upgrade or pass. Let's get saucy. First, while specs and technicalities are important, I like to approach music gear from a real-world experience, practical approach kind of mindset. Let's start by talking about some of the main differences between the two boards that I think are actually noteworthy. First is the keybed. The keybed has been upgraded to the triple sensor weighted hammer action on the 73 and 88 key model, and the compact maintains the waterfall keyboard from the previous generation, but also has a triple sensor upgrade. To me, this is a big deal. With piano being my main instrument and one of this keyboard's main purposes, having the triple sensor is really important as it allows me greater nuance in my playing, and it's something that I really miss when I'm playing my Nord Stage 3 in comparison to like a real piano. Now, this may not seem like a big deal at first, but once again, from a real world use case, this is a big deal. Being able to have 3 more sounds at my fingertips without having to flip pages is awesome. If I have 2 different patches per song, I can have 4 songs worth of sounds at my disposal at any given instant. I value accessibility a lot, and that was one of my main gripes that I had with my Korg Cronus back when I had that board. It was an amazing sounding board with a lot of power, but just getting access to the sounds and the overall accessibility was a bit cumbersome. Now, the dynamic compression is another sleeper function. Jack from Andertons did a great job demoing this feature, so go check out that video if you haven't. But long story short, the easiest way to think about this feature is that it levels out your playing very nicely. I've never had an issue with the standard compressor on my Stage 3, but it's a one-trick pony. A good one, but a one-trick pony nonetheless. While it did a great job at containing peaks and allowing me to alter my sound in cool ways, it wasn't great at smoothing out the overall sound, and that is what this dynamic compression does. You really have to try it to appreciate it. Now, this one is not a huge deal in terms of the feature itself, but it's a big deal in terms of what it frees up. On the Stage 3, you would have to sacrifice a whole panel to get piano unison, which sucked. So if you wanted a thick piano on one panel and then Rhodes on panel B, you couldn't do that because you had to use panel B to add another piano layer and then slightly detune it so you could have that piano unison sound. Now with this feature, you can do that and still leave your panel B untouched. That is why this feature is so cool. It provides greater sound design and flexibility. Definitely a nice touch from Nord. Physical drawbars. Do I have to say anything about this? What is an organ without drawbars? You literally can't play organ without drawbars. Like, seriously. So having drawbars on all models is huge, no brainer. It will make the organ playing experience 1000% better. And to top it off, you still have the capability to store your drawbar settings inside the preset. So when you pull up your preset, it goes to the stored settings. This is a dream come true, and it's the best of both worlds. Way to go, Nord, you crushed it with this feature. And while we're on the organ topic, the new B3 bass mode is stellar. Now you can actually run some great bass lines and do some amazing sound design as well. Now, this is probably my absolute favorite upgrade of this entire Nord Stage 4. I owned the Nord Wave 2 for a while before I had to sell it, sadly, but I absolutely love that synth, and now they literally put it inside the Stage 4. There are some slight differences, like the Nord Wave 2 had 4 synth layers, but the Stage 4 will have 3 synth layers. But that's still great, and it's a big upgrade over just having 2 layers in the Nord Stage 3. One layer may not seem like a big deal, but trust me, it is. The Stage 3 synth is based off the Nord Lead A1, and the Nord Stage 4 synth is based off the Nord Wave 2. There is not a comparison, y'all. The Nord Wave 2 synth engine sounds incredible, has the polyphonic arpeggiator, the gate mode, the pattern mode, and none of those are on the Stage 3 synth at all. And these features alone are enough for me to be happy. In addition, the Stage 4 has 48 voices for synth instead of 34. From a sound design perspective, there's a lot more leverage to create amazing layered sounds. Another great thing is that the Stage 4 now has 1 gig of sample memory instead of 480 megabytes. That's more than double. I'm very pleased by this because I often had trouble fitting the samples that I needed into the 480 megabytes, as I also work with my own custom samples. So this is a big deal for me personally. There are other features as well that are cool, like the mono and legato priority modes, but I listed the ones that I thought were absolute game changers. Now, last but not least, let's talk about the effects. Folks, again, I can't stress how much of a big deal this is. We now have effects for each engine for each panel. Like, I really can't stress how big of a deal this is. In my Nord Stage 3, if I wanted delay on my piano and synth, I just couldn't do it. I had to choose which engine would get the effect. It was super limiting, especially from a sound design perspective. But now each engine can access the effects simultaneously. Again, I can't stress how big of a deal this is. This means you'll be able to use one panel and have all your engines use the effects on that one panel. This literally saves your entire B panel. So if you aren't a current Nord Stage 3 or Stage 2 owner, you probably don't really understand why this is such a big deal and why us Nord players are so happy about this, but nonetheless, it's a great feature. Nord did add more effects, but the biggest deal about the effects upgrade is the fact that you can use all the effects simultaneously from the same panel. So with all this new exciting stuff that's been added, should you upgrade to the Nord Stage 4? Well, that depends on what kind of player you are. If you're into a lot of sound design and creating your own patches, you absolutely should get this board. The biggest updates were the synth engines and effects. It's a no-brainer that you should get this board. Go sell a kidney and buy it now. If you're a producer and you need a main keyboard or you're looking to replace or upgrade your current studio centerpiece, I absolutely recommend this board if it's in budget. Or if you make money from your work, get the board. Besides auxiliary sounds like horns and percussion and things of that nature, this board has all the bread and butter sounds plus the ability to craft your own. It also has MIDI over USB capabilities, so it integrates into DAW workflow and virtual instruments with ease. Now what about the gigging musician? That depends on your workflow and how much firepower you need. Now that the Stage 4 has the Nord Wave 2 synth built into it, you could potentially get rid of your second board and get just this one and be able to cover a serious amount of ground. But if you already have a rig you're happy with, then don't upgrade. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Having the extra features and effects is nice, but only if you're gonna use them. But if having the extra features like the effects, the synth, and the sound design capabilities allow you to do your job more efficiently, then by all means, make the leap. I highly doubt you'll be disappointed. Now, if you're an aspiring student or maybe a beginner or intermediate level, I would definitely weigh your commitment to music before you purchase. If you're serious and you know you want to go far with music, whether it's gigging, production, or whatever the course you choose, then go for it. This board will keep you happy for the next 5 years plus easily. But if you aren't sure what you want to do or you just don't see yourself needing this kind of firepower, pass on it. Don't worry about missing out. It's only worth it if you'll use it. Don't chase the latest, greatest thing, chase your musical journey. And for those of you wondering what I will be doing, well, I'll be selling my kidney and maybe some kids, and I'll be buying this board. I'm definitely gonna be upgrading. In addition to playing piano, I do sound design and produce, and I make a lot of music for video as well. So this is a dream board come true for me. I love Nord sound and all the buttons on the interface because I'm a tactile kind of guy. I like the hands-on. This will be a great centerpiece for my studio going forward, so I will definitely be upgrading. With that being said, I hope this review was helpful. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share. I would love if you join my blog. You can find that link in the description below. As always, feel free to share your thoughts or opinions. If I missed something, please let me know, and I'll catch you on the next one.